Random number.
You guys want to see what I? Yeah, you guys want to see my guy that's next to my camera? I have one of these guys. Anyone recognize him?
Beaker.
Yeah.
Homer.
He's one of my favorite Muppets.
I think it's me. Okay, let's get started then. I think okay, we got
Guys,
everyone.
let's be social. Let's get on camera. If Atish is on camera, everyone can make it on camera.
Okay, so today's Wednesday. Yeah, I think everyone knows the drill. Middle of the week. Probably mostly we talk about what we have been up to, what's the progress, yeah, and if we have any blockers. So we'll get started with Joaquin.
So what did I do? So there's two PRs on for the backend. I assigned them to Subodh, so when you have time you can check them. Actually, I don't remember exactly what was the first one. I mean, it was a bunch of changes, but
I know the second one was more about simply asking labels and probability so that it takes less time in giving the responses.
oh yeah. So cutting the time of the response. I mean, it was quite impressive that it was cut like by 50% just by reducing the size of the output JSON. So it really,
Wow.
like, what really drives the computation time of the LLM is how lengthy the output is rather than anything else.
Get rid of Pydantic.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know if you to make. I will answer your questions, Avi. You know, when I find some time. I've already written down a few things. I also wanted to discuss some things with Subodh, but I'll give you proper answers because they also help me reflect, think about like the product. So thanks. Yeah. So the first one was just several improvements. So get a weighted average from soft scores and. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff. It's there, and then the latest one was reducing the time. And yeah, then I'll need to discuss with Subodh what are the next steps after merging these. And yeah, but it's there and it can be used. We still haven't activated the flag. It will probably take more time to run. I still need to do some tests to see how much more.
What's the one? What's
But
the
yeah,
one
everything's on
feature
track.
you're focused
Sorry,
on? Oh,
you're muted.
sorry, apologies. What's the one feature you're focused on?
So right now, I mean, I finished like the tasks that I was working on. I was thinking of now actually, taking a step back and studying a bit more like the product overall. But also I'm waiting for Subodh to merge the PRs and to discuss with him like what are the next steps for the latent variables.
And so the PRs are the latent variables, the hidden variables?
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. I mean, would you feel comfortable kind of taking the hidden variables all the way through kind of to experimental execution and the reporting and analytics?
Yeah, sure. Maybe I can show. I don't know if today there will be time, but I can show a demo of just the results that we get.
Yeah, it would be nice if you could get the whole overview, so that way you could help, Madi if there's execution issues. You could help Tatevik if there's reporting issues, because that way you kind of maintain ownership of this new capability all the way through to the customer experience. And then even when Simon comes on board, which he's starting on I think Monday or Tuesday, all the way through to the chat agent as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a very compartmentalized and located feature, like part of the code. So it's like after we get like the demographics, we get the persona, then we're just generating this additional hidden trait information, and we're including that together with all of the other persona information. So all of that will be flowed to the rest of the pipeline, so they can see exactly what information they're getting.
No, I know, but I think it would be a good exercise for you to kind of
Yeah.
just so that you can.
Oh, yeah.
At the end, we're going to ask to build a multi-hop causal graph. Like right now, we have a one variable structural causal model, but eventually it's going to be a full DAG, and it's going to be a full DAG going kind of demographics to latent variable to choice, which I think.
Yeah. So that was also my intuition. Like I wanted to check more the overall process to like try to understand it from beginning to end and see how this will.
Quick question, Joaquim. If you run the whole thing, I don't know if you tried running on your local. Does it run all the way till the end where our analytics gets done, or does it fail or has any issue?
I still have to try that, because the last time I tried, so I tried, of course, like all of the endpoints and until that part. But the last time I tried, there was a problem with the R package that was solved since then. So I need to try again.
So if you try, if it runs all the way till the end, then it's ready to be merged.
Yeah, I'll try now. And I'll tell you.
Okay. All right. Next up, Eric.
Hello, everyone. So we got an appointment with Goldman Sachs tomorrow, and they're bringing about 5 people. They're giving us 30 minutes to do a discovery conversation. So I think, well, the people signed up for it is Avi, Pablo, Subodh, myself. So that's exciting because there's a lot of opportunity there. We have an appointment today. I have an appointment today with demonstration with Millipore, which is again, they're very interested. They want to hear more, and what I'm learning from these are just, these 30-minute meetings is, do we want to move forward with you guys? And so I'm learning to sort of put our value within a 30-minute time frame, and it's helping me a lot to sort of come up with the keywords that are going to, sort of like, oh, I get it, because that's really what I want them to feel at the end of these meetings. I want them to go like, wow, this is great. Okay, next meeting, let's bring in, all of the people who are going to be using the product. So it's very helpful.
Do we, Eric, do we have Subodh in the Millipore and Goldman meetings?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, my comfort level is, at the end of the day, I whatever help I can get at this early stage, right? At some point I will be, doing these by myself, or I'll be doing this with me and Subodh, but for right now, I just, I want to get help as much as I can to get things over the finish line. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited, and I'm sick. I caught Pablo's, I don't know how you can catch it through the computer, but I have strep throat. My daughter has strep throat, and so, there you go. But I'm here, and I'm grateful. What am I grateful for? I'm grateful for my health. There you go. That's it.
Thanks, Eric. Gaurav.
Yeah, so I'm doing another iteration on the presentation, and I'll be able to change that timing for Wednesday, 2 p.m. It's helping me elicit the questions I need to have clear in my mind and what value proposition of subconscious, as well as create a much cleaner deck with cleaner visuals. But so both of those are basically the goal. At some point, I also want to curious to run it by Pablo and Eric, so they have an outsider view also, like how things are presented. And so both, but I'm just doing an iteration with Avi first.
There's we've been working on a new sales deck over the last couple of days that I'd like to share with you also that might be helpful. But yeah, that'd be great.
Actually, if someone could share that to me right now on the Discord, that'd be great.
I think I will share with you.
Yeah, I just put it in the group chat.
Righty. Next up, Madi.
Oh, okay. Hello team, and happy Wednesday. So I have been working at the recruiting for the front end. We had more than 50 applicants, then shortlisted 15 and interviewed 4 up until now. And also I have 2 more meetings today, and also I like 2 of them for the next step, which is a live coding session to verify their skills. There are more meetings scheduled for tomorrow. Let me count. I think 5. 5 is scheduled for tomorrow, and yeah, it continues for that Friday as well.
Nice work, Monty.
Do you think Madi will have somebody by like Monday or Tuesday working in the front end?
There was a person that he was saying that I'm ready to start today even. So I just need to verify his skills in live session. Then I think we will have someone.
And then I want to, if you want to, I'm happy to post on some Discord groups. There's a bunch of like Discord groups with like designers and front end guys that I'm a member of. Yeah, I don't know if that would help or not. And then also Simon has been working kind of asynchronously. Is there anything you need to kind of direct him?
If he need helps or does not know the direction, then we can sit and direct him.
And how's merging the PRs from the current set of engineers?
There's not much. Joaquim put PRs which Subed needs to review.
Okay. And we're totally abandoning the chat agent, the POC chat agent that we have. Is that true?
Yes, that's if we abandon the pen is less.
Okay. Okay. I'm nervous about abandoning it because I always like having, multiple versions of the same feature just so we can measure the pros and cons. And Ambuj was working on that for a long, long time, which is not a measure of goodness.
Yes,
But we
but
we already saw, right? Like when Pablo put everything into ChatGPT and kind of questions he asked and the response he got, that's like 100 times better than what we had through Ambuj approach, because Ambuj was only using limited amount of data to start off. So even if we merge the PR somehow, we still need somebody to then take forward and include rest of the results.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Anything else, Madi?
I think that's it for my side.
Okay. Sarah.
Hello, good morning. I'm grateful for the sunshine in Florida, I think. Sometimes it's too hot. um, we have some VC follow-ups. We have to do some more warm touches. And yeah, just for everything is about the VCs. So Avi, I know you're going into the city today, right?
Yes, I have dinner tonight.
Okay. So that's what we've been working on. That is my update.
Dinner reservation.
Yeah, an investor dinner, so that'll be nice. How would you say, Sarah, the fundraising is going?
Well, they're not I'm like, how blunt should I be? I think
As blunt as
that
possible.
as blunt as possible. Well, they're not investing yet, so I think if we take all the people that we've met with and then the percentage of like investments we've gotten, that gives us our answer. So we need to definitely improve. But I see that today when we're like working on the deck, and then Subod's there giving us like new language, so we're adapting. So that's really awesome.
And then, how would you say we are doing on pushing people through the pipeline? Like, are there people close to the finish line? You know, what does that look like?
I think we're actually doing well with pushing people through the pipeline and following up. I think what's missing is probably like just like clarity in the technology when we're explaining it to them. Yeah, just like trying to capture their attention still so that they want to be pushed through, because we can't like push them through if they don't want to go through, right? So I think that's more of what it is. Yeah.
I mean, does that mean we are not able to explain our platform like clearly to people in 10 minutes? Is that what's happening then, Sarah?
I feel like if we had like a document that's like, okay, when we say this word, this is what it means, and then we're consistent with it, because they always like they'll be like, can you say more on that? And then if they don't follow, sometimes they're like, okay, great, next question. You can tell that it's like a bit of a brush off. They're like, okay, well, tell me about your team, because this doesn't make sense to tell me about your team. So just reading that a little bit. But it's like fair. It's like there's a lot of technology things to talk through. So maybe if we pick the top three and then we have like good explanations for that. So yeah, just like learning, being like, taking the feedback and learning.
I mean, I have to admit, I went through the deck and I find a lot of it over my head very quickly. So me, I've been simplifying it a lot more. And I need to explain causal in like, I need to have a slide in causal, but it's such an important part of it versus correlation. And I need to be clear in like 3 bullet points. It can't be like this crazy text. So that's one of the things I've been doing. And like, the insights gap document needs to be like clear. There's about 2-3 points. Like there's basically, it's so confusing for me. I can imagine what it's like when investors so much of this.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
I think if we can explain it to like a kindergartner or something, maybe that's aggressive, but
On that note, Gaurav, if you get a chance to look at the new one which Avi shared, the first 8 or 9 slides, see if they makes more sense to you, or
Where
we can
did
use them.
where did you share it?
It's in the chat.
It's in the group chat. On the upper right, there's a little word icon, a little chat bubble icon. Well, I think you're on mute.
You're on mute, Gaurav.
I got it. I got it. I got it. Okay, I'm going to request access, but okay.
Yeah, so we have to simplify the message, and this is the same exercise we're going through with Ada as well. Right, for the new landing page is simplifying the message. Sorry, Eric. Oh, you're
Still on mute, Eric.
Sorry, yeah. I love a good story, right? And so I love writing, right? And I have all these stories. And so I think about, your dilemma, 10 minutes, tell me exactly what you do in 10 minutes that's going to land, that's going to offer pivotal words, that's going to make me feel something that I don't feel before, right? And so that's very tricky with words. But anyway, it's one of these things where I think about all the time. What's the best story that's going to engage somebody? Because I think it's partly of the story and partly of the technology. I can share a few things at some point.
I mean, we simplified the text today. I'll write up like a quick 5-7 minute introduction. Probably we can give to new client when
Yes.
it's the first time we meet. Really
Yes.
plain and simple. Anyone can understand.
Correct. Yes, that's exactly, and these meetings that we're having, I mean, what's his name? The Saudi Airlines is moving forward faster than the others. We've already reached out. Their CSM team, who's going to give us all the data, has already reached out, and the meeting's being set up momentarily. And so, what did we do there that's different from everyone else? How did he get? He really understood.
I love the fact that the most complicated machine that's ever been designed, like the human mind, is something
Has
that
to
we're
be
trying to
dumbed down.
simplify. And there's people that think even now, like, if we could understand a human mind, then the human mind would not be complex enough to understand it. Like
It's counterintuitive, yes.
yeah. So what we're trying to do is quite difficult. We are literally trying to simplify the causal mechanisms of the most complicated machine that we know of. So
I mean,
good luck, guys.
you
Good luck,
would be.
Gaurav.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yes, you send me with my brown paper bag lunch. Go, okay, you come back, and don't come back until you have a cow, until those beans are sold. And a part of me is like, okay, so we're complex, we have multiple feelings simultaneously, and I'm supposed to just reach out and let people know that this is what we're doing in 20 minutes. But yes, I love the challenge. I have to say, I'm excited, because it's a great challenge. It's a great problem to have. It really, I don't know about you guys, but like when you go in and pitch the investors, like you have an opportunity to be like, okay, how creative can we be here? How can we shorten this? What can I bring in that I haven't been brought in before, right? Like that's for me, that's the excitement of like, okay, I'm going to come in, I'm going to bring something so outrageous. I'm going to bring an analogy, a metaphor. I'm going to bring something that's going to grab them. And you have that opportunity. Or you get a restraining order, either way.
By the way, guys, all of my investor meetings are on my calendar. All my investor meetings are public. Anyone should feel free to join if you like, if anyone wants that exposure.
All right. Okay, we move. Who's next? Florid.
Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. So what I've been working on is pushing the international IPUMS PR through. So the problem we have right now is that for a lot of the data in different countries, stuff that should mean the same thing, like for example, racial group is under a different name in all of them. For example, one might have racial group, one might have ethnicity. So we have to create a mapping between these in order to have like a unified language. So I made the mapping and I'm working on integrating it in the code. But I would like to meet with Subodh to try and get like a unified framework in the code. So yeah, after that, then I'll start implementing it and it should be pretty quick.
Does the normalized PUMs have that? Normalized
Sorry,
IPUMs?
sorry, did they have what?
What is normalized pumps?
There's like the PUMs, the IPUMs database, and then there's like the normalized IPUMs database. And I'm wondering like what is actually normalized in the normalized IPUMs database? Because I feel like this is
I
a
don't
solved
know.
problem. All right. Me neither. Florian, the problem you're solving, which is called entity resolution, is a very hard problem. You know, if you really get stuck with generalizing, don't feel like you have to generalize everything. Like this is something we're going to come back to a lot.
It's not that difficult because we only have 6 columns to match. That's all. We
Yeah.
don't have to match hundreds of columns. Just 6 columns. And within that, age and gender is standard. The only thing maybe changes is education and the ethnicity and children column.
Oh yeah, I just need to make sure that we're all doing it the same, and then I can start implementing it.
Let's see. If not today, then tomorrow for sure we'll sit early morning. I think we had to sit and then got busy with the PowerPoint presentation stuff.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
Who's next? Tatvik.
Everyone, happy Wednesday. So yesterday there was an experiment in dev that didn't run, so I had to check the R calculations. There was like this issue there. I got the price attribute and it went like this. It was like a $sign, 60, and then USD. So it was like double currency symbol, I would say. It's something like the R code wasn't prepared for, but like I handled it myself. So luckily it was continuous. So if I see something like this, I will keep the $sign, drop the USD, and it will be more polished.
That's very weird, right? How can it have two different? Can you send me the JSON of it mapping? Yeah, that's a very weird edge case.
Messages. That's that, and I'm reaching out to potential data analyst position candidates. I already have like a candidate that I favor the most, but I have a few more meetings to go through before making a final decision. That's what's on my plate.
Thanks, Tatvik. Atish.
I'm finishing adding populations. Yeah, that's all. Oh, and for Germany, the last data set was from 1987, so I was wondering, should I include that?
Then don't include. That's like way too old.
Thought so. Okay, cool. Yep, that's
because even these IPUMS data for the non-US country, they are from 2010 or 12, right? They are also like at least 10 years old data.
Yeah. Okay.
Just one more thing, Atish. Remember you had a PR on stratified sampling, which is yet to be like merged. I will not merge that because I found a better way of getting around the same issue where we how to basically ensure if the population percentages are exactly the same as the drawn sample, and also ensure that we have 25 minimum per label of it using a different like more sophisticated way. So I'll just implement that directly into the code. So once you give me the whole population for any given configuration, I can just take it from there. So that's why I want to merge that one.
Sounds good. Thanks for letting me know.
All right, thanks, Satish. Who's next? Hadi.
Hello everyone. Happy Wednesday. So since Monday, I've been working on making ready the PR I have to merge, fix like all the conflicts, and also some issue in Y step related to causality check. The questions which are already causal, we don't check for a smoother user experience. Like those rotational example doesn't need to be checked. The suggestions coming from causality check doesn't need to be checked. The question which is already validated is checked causality. We don't check those and fixed some build errors. There is one last build error which today it was weird. It's still not fixed. I'm working on it. It's related to a route handler for showcase experiment, and I reverted back the changes, but still like I get an error that the HB folder is not like the backend response says the HB folder is not found. Mahdi, can you check that issue? Okay, I think we will check later with Mahdi. That's it from my side.
Thanks, Hadi.
Oh,
Who's
wait,
next?
real quick, Hadi, would you be able to check like when going through the experimental design process? I don't know if this is on the front end or on the back end, but like the causality check it seems to take a long time. The generating new persona traits seems to take a long time. The generating new attributes seems to take a long time. And when we run the APIs just from the API page, we get a response in like in seconds. But then from the UI, it's like half a minute. I'm not entirely sure if it's front end or back end, but when I ask the back end folks, they say it's the front end, and so I'd like to ask you to validate if it's either the front end or the back end. But that experience of that experience of designing the experiment is like a lot of delays, and like typically there are all these like limits, these human attention limits in UX research that say like if it takes more than like 2 seconds for a button to be responsive, like people are going to drop out. If people have to wait more than like I think it's like more than 2 seconds on a page that people drop out of the experience. Like if you could check that, I feel like we really struggled. Even I struggle when running a demo to like maintain the attention of people because every page takes so long to load.
Yeah, definitely I can check if the backend guy says that it's the front end. Well, I think it's not the front end. Now that they're saying it's the front end, I definitely want to check if it's from the backend or the front end.
Beautiful. Thank you.
All right. Michelle. Can you hear us, Michelle? Looks like no. Okay. Pablo.
Good morning, everyone. I will try to protect everyone from strep throat. Definitely sorry, Eric. I did what I could. Yesterday, I had a meeting with DMI. Goal is to kind of follow up with them. We pitched a semblance of pricing and then schedule a next follow-up meeting. And then today, going to work hand in hand with Eric to push along Millipore, as well as I'd like to have, as we always do, a clear plan of attack, Eric, for Goldman Sachs. That one's going to be a little bit difficult. I really don't like the 30-minute increments for meetings. It really puts us at a disadvantage, especially with so many people in the meeting. So lesson learned. It's okay. You know, we're moving forward. We're learning. So I want to be especially buttoned up in preparation of that. Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yes.
I have a few friends there. I mean, do you want me to back channel some of that?
I we could talk about this later. I don't know because we don't know what we don't know. So right now, this is just a discovery. And the guy who got us in is he's an attorney at, anyway, so he's there connected to the chief marketing officer. And they only do these 30-minute, they have tons of companies. This is how they process it. But we'll keep that in mind as we get closer to this. Right, Pablo? What do you think?
So I mean, you're the owner of the deal. Are you saying let's hold it until we want to exhaust those resources? Avi is just offering a resource.
Yes, that's exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying is let's hold off Avi's resource until we've gone through our what we have in front of us.
Got it. Okay.
And I know I owe you some stuff. I owe you an agenda for Goldman Sachs.
Hey, everybody, can you hear me? This is Michelle.
Yeah, we can hear you, Michelle.
Sorry, I'm trying to do Discord on my phone, and because I've got computer maintenance going on right now, but it's not working out very well. But yeah, just wanted to add to the demo length conversation. I've done quite a few demos myself, and I've discovered the wording that seems to get people excited, and I've done demos in like 5-10 minutes, and really just hitting the highlights, and people seem to get really excited about what I'm saying and are interested. So I'd be happy to pass on my learnings from that to y'all.
So Avi shared the new deck, Michelle, in the link. So if you can take a look and see if this aligns well with what you have been telling people, like if this short version really gets to the point, then I think we are on the good track.
Let me also introduce Michelle here, just for context, because Michelle, I think this is the first time you joined these kind of meetings, which is fantastic, and welcomed.
Second time.
Thank you so much.
Second time. Okay. Well, Michelle is has a marketing background. She is a fractional chief marketing officer. She used to work at USAA. It's a big retail bank, a big bank here in the United States. And she's been a partner of Subconscious on several fronts, but in particular to learn more about the psychology of chief marketing officers, or ICP. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you for the introduction, Pablo. It's great to be here again. It's the second time but nice to be here and learn more about what's going on with Subconscious. I've been quite active in promoting it and doing a lot of demos, and I've got several more lined up. I've got a demo with a chief marketing officer group tomorrow to discuss like potentially a partnership type relationship with her in a group membership type thing, just in an exploratory way. And I'm also going to be giving a demo of Subconscious to a Toastmasters group, which I think will be really interesting because they critique what I do. And so that's going to be next week. So I'd like to really collaborate with you all on messaging and, just put our heads together and get that really in a good shape. And then I can give that demo and get some good feedback from people that have a lot of business experience over the years. So excited about that. Couple of other things that I wanted to share is that social media, I've got videos that you guys can use if you want to. So I've connected with Mia and I will, share videos that you guys can use for promoting Subconscious. And let's see. Also, I met with someone, on the social media before I leave that topic. Anything that you guys can do to connect with me and engage with me on social media, like my posts, comment on them, share them, whatever. And then likewise, let me know when you all post anybody about Subconscious, then, I'll do my best to engage with your posts as well. And that helps everyone to get, more impressions out there. And then finally, I had a demo yesterday with someone that I thought was really interesting, and she's a colleague and potential client of mine, but she has a mental health app. And while she's a startup waiting to get funding, she has connected with, I think she said 250 different sub apps that she's pulling into her app. And so she's offered to give me potentially access to all of them, their direct to consumer apps. And so I'm going to do a one test case for one of the clients and see if it works out. If it does, then it could be a really excellent connection with potential, revenue opportunities for Subconscious. So,
Michelle, we have an intern, a marketing intern starting, I think, on Monday, who can help kind of take your content and chop it up and put it through all the channels and things like that. So feel free to use her as a resource.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that sounds good. I really appreciate that. One other question that I have that's just about the status of everything, and I joined the meeting just a little bit late today, so I just don't know. But I'm in the middle of work with one client that might be a good candidate for the B2B opportunities. So I just need to get like status on, when those capabilities are going to be, ready to be able to be used, and get kind of estimated costs for that as well, so that I can present it to them.
Yeah, so let's schedule a second meeting, figuring out exactly what those needs are. Typically, if you can get a signed SOW, if you can get, $50,000 of prepaid credits budgeted, then we can build really whatever they need within a matter of weeks.
Okay. Yeah, we'll set up a second meeting. I think that would be helpful to get into more details.
Nice work. Very nice work.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. Avi, you next.
Continuing to push folks through the pipeline. Sarah, I don't know why we're saying nobody's investing. I asked you to send out a safe agreement today for someone who committed yesterday. But the sentiment is right. The sentiment is right. The magnitude is right. We have another probably 3 folks in diligence, so I'm trying to stay on top of those meetings. Pablo and Sarah have been very helpful in both of those. really just focused on pushing people through the pipeline. If anyone wants, we're using Finta for a fundraising pipeline. Happy to share that with the group. And I'm doing a little bit of recruiting, not really a lot, but there's a couple of folks that used to work at Cantor and Qualtrics and Gartner and some other company. I forget the name of the other company, but so we're working on those interviews for kind of like AE roles. These are people who are really comfortable running quantitative market research. They are on the younger side, so I don't think their Rolodex is really quite there, but I think the language they use around the benefits of quantitative market research is quite superior. Pablo,
So I think the key might be that they probably don't know what a Rolodex is.
Right, that's funny. One thing I would like to do also, Pablo, I know we have relationships at University of Pennsylvania, University of Chicago, Notre Dame, like all of those behavioral science departments. I would love to get like a blast out to those three departments saying, hey, look, we're looking for folks to join us on the like BDR AE side for the summer. I would like to do that sooner than later. So if you could help me with that, that would be lovely.
To be clear, you're asking for a sales internship, or?
Yeah, folks that think they can promote our product, build our agency network, whatever help they think they can do to get more demos with relevant buyers.
Okay.
Okay, looks like everyone's done. Oh yeah, I forgot myself. What did I do? I don't think we have added anything into product yet. I mean, to me, at the moment, my biggest block is fewer people in front end or just Hardy being there. Because even once we push the latent variable, we need then in front end to display those. The concept testing design was half done by Tushar. Now that he's not around, that thing can't go. So yeah, these are basically my bottleneck. I need people so that all those stuff that we did can go through.
And those are the people that Mahdi is interviewing? Okay.
Because at this moment, I think optics matter a bit more than giving again the numbers and everything in the back end. We can give all the numbers. It's not really going to fly at the moment. So if just we can show them, okay, here is, you can see these things will go in the back, and then even a simple descriptives behind, I think people will be more than happy. So we really need to show those things in the UI.
Those things being what specifically?
Latent variable being one, then concept testing being the other. Because if the concept testing can be built, then message testing can be done. It's just extension from there. So many things hinges on concept testing being part of the UI in the front end.
And it's not completed.
No, I don't think. He worked half, and then after that we have no idea.
Okay. I mean, it shouldn't be that much of an effort, right, to build that?
I have no idea, I mean, how much effort it takes. because apparently the front end is so delicate. They change anything in one place, things break everywhere. So
Hadi, is this something you can pick up with now that you've kind of rebuilt the front end? Do we have Hadi?
okay, I'll talk to Hardy later. There's a meeting I think I have to take in 5 minutes. I'd like to take a break.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think with that, it's all, everyone's done. If anyone has a demo, please show the demo. I really have to go to toilet.
Any demos?
I could show just give you an idea of what we're getting in the latent variable thing.
All
So
right,
I just put the input into a JSON and the output into JSON. So let's see. Okay, can you see the screen?
Yep.
Do I need to put it to zoom in more, or is this okay?
That's good.
Is it okay? So yeah, just. Oh, sorry, I was hearing a lot of. I'm hearing some like feedback. I don't know. Maybe it's Eric. I don't know. Okay. So yeah, so this is just like the input that the endpoints get. The Y prompt, in this case, what factors affect venture capitalists' decision to invest in early stage startups, and then we get a traits count. So this means like the number of psychological traits or characteristics we want to simulate, and for each of them, a measurement count. So these are the trait measurement statements. So these are like positive statements, like statements that are framed in a positive way about the specific trait that they're measuring. I'll show you afterwards, but in relation also to the Y prompt. And then pain point count is about pain point detection statements. These are negatively framed. I'll show you an example. And then this is just the scale, the number of labels that we want for the Likert scale that under which we're measuring. We're asking the persona to respond to the statements that we're giving.
What is measurement count again?
So I'll show you an example. It's easier, Avi. But you remember that actually you suggested this, that for each trait, let's say risk aversion, we should have statements that measure it in a positive way and also statements that measure it in like a negative way. So so we should have like this dichotomy to actually verify that we're getting the same thing. I'll show you an example. So for example, for risk tolerance, so trait measurement statements are framed in a positive way. So I'm comfortable investing in startups with high potential for failure if the potential return is also high, or I prefer investments with a proven track record even if the potential return is lower. And then pain points is some pain points that are associated with risk tolerance with these specific traits. So in this case, it's missed opportunities and analysis paralysis. It's what it generated. And then we have some statements that try to measure that. So I regret not investing in startups that seem too risky. I have experienced significant financial losses due to investing in startups without fully understanding its risks. So these are negatively stated. Is that clear? Or
Sure.
Sorry, I didn't hear you, Avi.
Sorry. Yeah, that's clear.
Okay. Yeah, and then we get the personas. Here in this case, it's just a persona, age, background, behaviors. So this is what it generates. First, it generates a bunch of traits data. So in this case, it will be 5 different traits, and each one with all of the statements and Likert scales. Sometimes the Likert scales
Each trait
depend.
has a pain point.
Each trait, in this case, each trait has 2 pain points and 2 trait measurement statements, so the positively framed ones.
So
these
measurement
2,
count is positively framed and pain point is negatively framed.
yeah.
Okay.
And so
if we could rename those to be a little more intuitive.
yeah. I mean, in the output, yeah. I mean, I see what you mean. Maybe I should reframe this one. So yeah, then for due diligence, this is another trait it identified with respect to the Y prompt. So more statements. I thoroughly researched the market and the team before making an investment decision. I rely heavily on gut feeling and intuition when evaluating investment opportunities, and then also more pain points. Okay, so for all of these, so then you also have network centrality, you also have confirmation bias, and you also have emotional intelligence. So these are all traits related to the Y prompt. And then you have the responses that each persona gave to the that this persona gave to the statements. So for this statement, these are the probabilities assigned to each of the scale labels, and then the mean score. So we have this quantitative data, how the persona replies to each of these statements, and so we're trying to assess the underlying hidden traits, psychological traits from the responses to specific statements that try to measure the traits. So we have all of these. And then we have some additional nodes as well, which were used to generate the trait statements scores, which show how the trait relates to the Y prompt. So given Ella's profile as a young, tech-savvy, and socially responsible individual, her emotional intelligence likely manifests in her, etc. Okay, and then the last thing we have is a summarization. So based on all of this information, the network will take all of the statement scores on all of the traits and generate a summary of the hidden traits, the psychological traits of the persona. So we have personality traits. It's L is a tech-savvy and socially responsible venture capitalist, demonstrates moderate.
Do these map to McFadden?
So this mapped. So this is a known model. So like behaviors, goals. So I'll get back to you on that. But Subodh sent me a paper from which I extracted these.
Was it the McFadden paper?
It was something else.
Look at the paper I put in the link. That's kind of the model that we've been using.
Okay.
It should be the same paper.
Was it this one? Oh, no. Okay, I'll get back to you on that. Subodh, I think it's this one. I don't know. I'll get back to you. But essentially, we have also a descriptive information on the persona, as well as the quantitative information that are the statement scores that the persona is giving to each measurement statement. We have personality traits, pain points, behaviors, goals, motivations, and trigger points. So from this, we have a very, very comprehensive picture of these hidden traits and how they're relating to the Y prompt, to the question that we're asking. And so hopefully this will give us more explanatory power and also have actual causal variables that will be used to get the outputs.
And which one of let's have another session,
Sure.
because this is great. When this is great, the question is, you know, which of these summary traits are causal, and is there any sort of like you know, most of these traits, when you map them out, have like bidirectional causality. They cause each other. You know, there's usually these reinforcing or destructive loops, and based on how these are generated, I'm wondering, like, do you know, do we include the personality traits when generating the pain points? Do we include the pain points when generating the behaviors? Do we include the behaviors when generating the goals? Like, are these truly MECE, or are they, you know?
I mean, these are all interdependent and correlated, but I think the same is true for the attributes and for all of the other information that we have, right? And so then I guess the idea is, I mean, eventually we could also have like the conjoint look at these traits and do the analysis to be able to parse out like to
No, yeah, that's the objective. But
yeah.
depending on how these are generated, you know, it's
Yeah, so actually in the prompt itself, we're asking already for the traits to be distinct, and so we're trying to have that how do you say, that restriction through the prompt. But maybe we can take a look at how to actually make them like more distinct, so that they explain more of the landscape, essentially, right?
right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and if we're using the demographics to create the traits, we can discuss offline.
Yeah, well, it's inference, but it's inference. It's inference, Avi. Like we're not sure unless we have actual data from, you know, these psychographic, you know, databases. I don't know, like the ones that you mentioned in the slides.
Right.
But it's essentially the idea here is like we want to. This is a prior that we're introducing. Like we know from like understanding of psychology that this is what's causally related, and so we're trying to spoon feed it to the network because we're not trusting whether it's actually using causal information, whether it's actually using the information we want to make the predictions. It might just be using information that you know, it's correlated with the results. But this also gives us more explanatory power, right? We can show to users and be like, oh, this user made this decision because of these traits, so it has value in and of itself, even if it doesn't really increase the you know, the score at the end, or, you know, doesn't improve the metrics much.
Right. Nice work. Nice work. Let's stop development on that and try to get that into dev so we can, you know, collect that data downstream.
Yeah, there's also a question that I need to discuss with Subodh, and which has to do with the time. Like, how much are we going to allow the time of the experiment to increase? Because I mean, there's a bunch of knobs that we can tweak here for that. We can put more traits, less traits. If we put less traits, it won't increase by that much. If we put more traits, like currently, it's going to increase it by a bit.
Let's do the simplest possible thing. Like one trait, one level. That's it. Like we just need to get something at the most base level into the system so that the downstream models and UIs can start to surface this.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
one small feature. Just get one new trait in, and let us
Okay.
build models on one new trait.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Simplest possible thing, because it as you improve this capability, you know, you want the downstream folks to be working in parallel.
Yeah. 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 I think it's a good idea. Just like have a few more things there, so we have a kind of a template or something to work with.
Yeah, exactly. You got to release this to the team when it's 20% complete, not 80% complete.
I mean, it's just a matter of tweaking the knobs. So.
All right, I gotta go. I'm late for another meeting.
Thanks, guys.
Nice work, guys. Stay in the channels. Please work together. Please help Joaquin get this new capability into development. Guys, this is our company, right? Whatever we're building, we need to build things that are valuable to the customers, right? Right now, we don't really necessarily need more accuracy, but we need more breadth, we need more depth, we need more latent variables, we need more chats, we need the ability to design the experiments quicker. What's the next best experiment? You know, we need all of those quality of life features for the users. Nobody's complaining about our accuracy. The subconscious features, Joaquin, is very nice, but it's the usability and the ease of use and the search that's really important. All right, guys. Good luck. I'm out Friday, Monday, and Tuesday. This is your company. You guys are going to run it yourselves. Feel free to defer to Pablo and Subodh and Sarah while I'm out. I'm gonna miss you guys.